In today's video, we're going to follow the life cycle of a photograph from concept to DIY framed print, and I'll share with you the lessons I've learned at every stage of the process. Let's go. Hi, I'm Adam and welcome back to First Man Photography. Before we get going today, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a domain name, a website or an online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Photography is unique amongst the arts because to make a good photo, we actually have to go out and do an interesting thing. This can be brilliant, but it can also be extremely hard. And it's very natural from time to time to struggle with motivation or a lack of inspiration to actually go out and make pictures. I'd been stuck in a creative rut quite recently until one night a few weeks ago. It was 11:30 p.m. I was just getting into bed and I had a quick look on Twitter and a post from Mally Davis popped up saying he could see the northern lights from his house. I've been wanting to see the aurora for as long as I can remember, and stepping outside, I was utterly amazed that my first time seeing them was in my back garden. At first it kind of looked like a wispy cloud, but as I pointed my phone up, the colours came to life and I captured these two shots. It quickly became clear this event was being witnessed across much of the world. So I thought I'd grab a time lapse to share online as my best effort. I knew I wanted to share it quickly as well, so stayed up till about 3 a.m. processing the time lapse and then posted it at 7 a.m. the next morning. Not long later, Channel 4 got in touch asking if they could use it on the 6:30 news. I said yes, but it would be cool if they shared my YouTube channel, which they did.
Last night you may have witnessed a rare and spectacular display. As the midnight skies dawned, the nation was illuminated with colour.
Although they're not images I will ever use commercially, the whole experience was utterly brilliant and an experience shared by so many across the world and social media. It reminded me why photography is so much fun and how we can use all of these interesting life experiences and feed them into our work and photography philosophy. Once we've found our motivation and remembered photography is fun, it's time to get our butts off the couch and head out with the camera to capture the photo that we're going to follow from start to the big finish. Right, I'm set up and this is the view, and the wind is insane. It's a very dodgy spot that I'm on, but I think it's going to be worth it. Just look at that, the light is just sensational. The gusts are making it difficult. I'm scared things are going to blow away, so even though I've got the tripod legs set out wide, I'm keeping hold of it. That sun's come back, look at that now. Quick shot, I am... it's difficult to explain what's happening, but I've got the 6-stop filter on. The sea is so rough that I need to remove some of the detail in there because it's distracting from the image for me. We've then got the line of the cliffs there, which I just think look brilliant. And then that warm light. Let's take another one. Whoa! That warm light is just phenomenal. I'm trying to keep the sun out of the frame, trying to hold on to everything and not get blown away. It is exciting. The water is brilliant, but I need to remove some of that contrast from there. That's what I wanted to say. So I'm doing that with a long exposure. And then just using the cliffs to lead me in. There's some beautiful colour in the sky, some oranges, some yellows. It's just so warm and atmospheric. And then all that action and all that movement in the sea is going to add a real dynamism, I think, to the image, a sense of power. But I'm going to smooth it out a little bit to make it feel more serene. And if I wasn't being battered and blown around so much, that's exactly the feeling I would have. So I'm kind of using the long exposure to create the artistic mood in the image that I sort of envision in my head. I think that's what I'm doing anyway. Let's have a look. Oh wow, the light is just beautiful. The way it's reflecting on the water. I might just reduce the exposure a little bit to just add a little bit more motion or a little bit more detail into the water. But it's just the light. And I've said that already, but the light is very nice. And yeah, so 6-stop filter on. I've just gone down to f11 and I'm now at a shutter speed of about a second, and I'm bracketing 2 stops either side. And then let's do another one, because this is just looking beautiful. Try and hold the tripod firm for a second. Oh, and the blue of the water is coming through on it as well. And with that sun off to the top right of the frame, creating so much mood and atmosphere. The light on the water as well, coming through the gap of the drinking dinosaur, just looks phenomenal. It's so exciting. And it's all added by the power of this wind. It just feels like a very powerful scene. And that's kind of what I want to capture. It's so difficult though, because I'm holding onto this camera. I'm trying not to let go of the tripod. It's Canon's camera. I don't want to lose it. Wild, but I think it's going to be worth it. So worth it. So this is the image. I do nearly all my editing in Lightroom Classic, and really all I'm doing when I edit a landscape photo is trying to match what I saw at the scene with how it made me feel. I don't think landscape photography is a documentary, but what I'm thinking about is controlling the colour, which has a big effect on how we feel, and controlling the brightness across the frame to match how my eyes and brain experienced it, showing that full dynamic range. What I generally find is that if I can't edit a picture to within 95% of finish in the first 5 minutes, then I'm probably not going to be happy with the image. Every banger I've ever made basically edited itself. If things get too technical, I quickly lose interest. One tip I do have though is a good way to remove the halo effect you sometimes get in areas of high contrast, like the line here between the shadowy cliff and the bright sea and sky above. All you need to do is take a brush and draw along the line like this until the end. Then scroll down and reduce the clarity, and the halo will reduce, if not disappear, entirely. Post-processing also plays a large part in our overall photographic style. Over the years, I found I was processing particular landscapes in similar ways time and time again. And this led me to make a set of presets that now serve as my starting point for most images. We've got midday mountains, that removes a lot of the green and works beautifully for autumn scenes like this one. Overcast coast, which turns a grey raw file into an image that matches that dramatic and imposing conditions we experience at the beach on a wet and windy day. This one is called Bad Weather, which gets regular use here in the UK. Weather's been terrible. Mono to the max is the next one. I love this, and it pushes the contrast to the absolute extreme, making your black and white images pop, and it works really well on mountain scenes and also cityscapes like this one. And then we have Sunset Rocks that complements those summer evenings and sunset colours and basically adds a little magenta to enhance the warm feeling. All my Lightroom presets are available now for a single price of $7.99, and it's a good place to get you started, so hit the link down below. So as you know, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, and I want to tell you a little story. This weekend I went to a quiet part of North Wales, and after a morning on a cloudy beach, I wanted to find a nice place for us to eat lunch. So I went online and found several places that weren't exciting me at all, until I hit on one that had a beautiful, clean-looking website with stunning images, and it looked very pro. After reading a couple of reviews, we booked, went there and had an incredible meal. I later realised though that the website had been made on Squarespace, and it was the exceptional quality of the website that grabbed my attention and converted that into a sale for the restaurant. It was a very nice reminder of why I believe Squarespace is also the best place for photographers to host their own website. It's just so easy to get set up, and by using one of their beautiful templates, before you know it, you will have a unique and attention-grabbing website, a place to showcase your photography. You don't need any coding knowledge either. It will dynamically adjust to look perfect on all types of screen, including a phone. You can start with a simple gallery, but as you grow, you can then upgrade your site to an online store and provide your customers with a seamless experience as they purchase one of your prints or books or workshops or calendars. And in the unlikely event that you run into trouble, they also have award-winning customer service. So go to squarespace.com or hit the link down below to start your free trial today. And if you like what you've created, use the offer code FIRSTMAN to get 10% off your first purchase. On this channel, I have printed. I've printed a lot. I've compared printers, done panos, printed out the back of my car, mobile darkroom style. I've hired a massive studio and spread the prints all over the floor to get a cool shot. And I even dragged the Canon Pro 1000 up a hill to make a print in the landscape. I love printing. When you see that thing come out of the printer, there is no better feeling. And getting your work in hand is an extremely fulfilling experience. Subscribe to the channel for more printing videos very soon, but we're going to speed past this today because despite what people often say, printing is not actually the final step in the photography process. There are many different ways to display photography, but by far my favourite is to have them framed. The problem is, it's extremely expensive. I used to offer my prints for sale as a framed option. They were really nice, custom made, and my customers loved them, but there was always something about it that left me feeling a little flat. The frame forms part of the completed artwork, and it felt weird adding the work of someone else into the art I was creating. So quite recently, I decided to have a go at making my own frames. Over the last 6 years, photography has been my job, so adding this kind of woodworking element to what I'm doing felt like a fun hobby again. It's been a shockingly steep learning curve, and I've made mistakes at every stage, and it's hard work. The first frame I made was this little oak one from some timber I've had in the garage for ages. I think the wood was damp though, and it's expanded and the joints are coming apart. From this, I learned that reinforcing the joints was essential. I'm going to put out a full video about making my own frames very soon, and that will include all costings, but I've cut miters, used a router to cut out the rebate and create some nice edging details. I've clamped things, glued my fingers, wasted wood, and done a lot of sanding. But in the end, I have been left with two pieces of artwork that are not far off where I want to be before I consider selling one. And knowing I've created this from concept right through to framed print feels amazing. So let's have a quick look at them. They both have a lovely weighty premium feel, but the black one is housing a print from a stunning moment I had in the Lake District with Henry Turner not so long ago. It's made from pine, which is a bit cheaper to buy, but then I've given it this lovely ebony finish using Indian ink, followed by a hard wax oil. I reinforced the joints using this simple dowel method, and I'm particularly happy with the edging details I've created with the router. This was also the first time I've cut a mount, so I've made mistakes there. You can still see a bit of the blank paper coming through. Still, I think it's the perfect frame to match this print. This one I'm even happier with. It's made from oak, and I've just given it some nice rounded edges and finished it with a hard wax oil to let that natural oak colour shine through. To reinforce the joints on this one, I've created these splines, which I'm very proud of actually. I basically cut a groove and used a spare bit of acacia wood to create an interesting contrast and a lovely strong joint. The main mistake I made though was using this glass look perspex, which is basically blue and has undone all my colour accuracy efforts with the print. That's easily replaced though, so I'm still thrilled with the outcome and happy with them overall. It's fun showing you this picture from start to finish, and I look forward to sharing the whole framing process with you very soon. You can support me by picking up my presets or even just subscribing to the channel. Or why not click here to see a wild camping and photography adventure, or click here to watch me drag a big-ass printer up the hill. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.